welcome back. Welcome back to SELF, S.E.L. for faculty, S.E.L. for the adults in the building. Today, we're going to talk about part 2 dose of my secret sauce. And if you didn't listen to last week's episode, my secret sauce is the subconscious mind, a tool that is already being used. But once you know how to use it, you can use it for your benefit. It's being used for your benefit now too, because that's why you're breathing and your heart is beating without you even thinking about it. But we can maximize the use to accomplish what we want to accomplish and be happier, healthier, and whole. That's my goal. My goal is for you to be your happiest, healthiest, whole self in your education journey. Okay, so we were talking about the prime directives of the subconscious mind. Those are like the jobs, what they do on the subconscious mind. And we talked about 11 of them. There's a total of 20. So we're going to go over the rest of the jobs of the subconscious mind. Now, this is important to know because these are like the directions for this tool, right? What does this tool do? What is this tool capable of? And really, this can propel our SEL journey and make things happen much more quickly, which let's all agree, we don't have a lot of time. And so when we think about adding, oh my gosh, adult SEL, now I have to worry about my own SEL as well. That's another thing. Well, this secret sauce, the subconscious mind, makes all of that easier and faster. Okay, so let's dive right in. It is technically prime directive number 12, because again, there are 20, we talked about 11 before, and that is may keep emotions repressed for your protection. Again, you'll start to notice a lot of these have similarities and they go together, right? They're really an integrated system. But if something would be way too harmful, right? It suppresses that. The subconscious mind suppresses that for your protection in the moment. For example, let's say it's almost like shock, right? When you go into shock and you don't feel anything yet, that's your subconscious mind repressing those emotions for your instant protection. Also, something like when you're like in an important meeting and somebody says something, or you really get either your feelings hurt or something, let's say you want to cry, right? A lot of times our subconscious mind for protection will suppress that because it feels like our identity would be compromised if we express those in that moment in time. And we'll talk about identity too. It is also, our subconscious mind, number 13, is a highly moral part of you. Now, when we say moral, we don't mean like world morals. We mean the morals you were taught as a child. And this is where we get into identity, right? It's the morals you're like, I will die on this hill kind of morals. And you have those morals because they're built into your values. These are your values and your identity. And your subconscious mind is going to stick to those. This is why it's important, and we'll talk about this in future episodes, to know your values, right? And a lot of times your values aren't what you think they are. You may say, I really value my health, but you always eat fast food, right? That action doesn't support that value. So your subconscious mind doesn't quite know that that is a value yet, because if it did, your subconscious mind is highly moral and it will stick to that code, which is why, again, it's good to know what that code is. What are your morals? What are your values? What is your subconscious mind sticking to, ride or die? Next, this is a good one. Your subconscious mind enjoys serving, and it needs clear, specific directions. Have you ever been like, as someone said, oh, I prayed for, like, be careful what you pray for, because you pray for something and you get something that follows that prayer, but like not in the right way or order or something, right? Like, oh, I pray for a boyfriend. I really want a boyfriend. And then you somehow get a loser in your life or something. That's not a great example, but you know what I mean. It needs clear, specific directions, which is really good because that is a great tool that we have. And we know that our subconscious mind is following this. This again is why it's important that we watch our self-talk, the directions that we give our mind. Our subconscious mind is the goal getter. So our conscious mind sets the goals and our subconscious mind gets the goals. And it gets the goals because it is following that clear path. So when you set something, when you say something to yourself, make sure it's very clear and specific, because your subconscious mind will then be a better tool for you. For example, you don't want to say, I want to earn millions, right? It's better to say, I want to earn 1,327,000. Our subconscious mind also likes novelty, which is coming up. So that's why it's good to make it a little bit different, but it needs to be very specific. This kind of goes with SMART goals, right? Where we make sure that our goals are specific. It enjoys serving you. Tell it what to do. When you wake up in the morning, we're having a great day today, right? This is what we're going to accomplish today. Writing things down, be very specific, and your subconscious mind will help you out in your journey. Your subconscious mind also controls and maintains all perceptions, and more specifically, your perceptions. This is why two people can see things very differently. Your subconscious mind is storing how you see things, how you perceive things to be. And it's good to be aware of these again, because we know that sometimes our perceptions are limited. Like we can't even imagine how the other person could possibly see that thing, right? Because our subconscious mind stores our perceptions based on our past, based on everything that has happened to us. Okay, so again, awareness of this, awareness that that is what's happening and what our perceptions are, allows us to make changes. If we want to make changes, you can change. And that is what subconscious work and social emotional learning really, at the core of it, is all about. It also generates, stores, distributes, and transmits all of our energy. So we have a bank of energy, and our subconscious mind is in control of distributing this. And when it holds back and when it gives out, the way that we know this, and a super powerful tool, is that your energy level can change with just a thought or a circumstance, right? I could be dead tired, like on the bed, I have no energy, I'm feeling zapped, but my daughter comes and is like, hey mom, you want to go to our favorite sushi restaurant? I bet you that all of a sudden I will have some energy. Or even better, if she said, hey, let's go to Disneyland, I would be up and out the door. Normally I can't stay up past like 9 o'clock. I know. But if I'm at Disneyland, like, we can make it to midnight easy. We're going to make it to midnight. We're going to have the energy to do it. So your energy levels, and I'm sure that you've experienced this as well, can change with just a thought. And that's because your subconscious mind is in charge of that distribution. It also maintains your instincts and generates your habits. It kind of goes back to that flight or flight response, right? Fight, flight, freeze, and now fawn. It is determining that. It generates your instinct. It's the instinctual part of you, things that happen just out of reaction. Again, as we've discussed, what's good about knowing this is knowing that we can also change those responses. It also preserves our habits. This is where our habits are stored, things that we do automatically, right? When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I take my vitamins. And this has become a habit, so habitual, in fact, that I don't even really need to think about it. And if I don't do it, it feels weird. I've done it so much that it now is a habit. And we've talked about this before. Number 18 is it needs repetition until a habit is installed. We've also talked about how it can either be repetition, strong emotion, or subconscious change work. Right? So this is where our habits are stored. And that is why working with our subconscious mind can help us alter those habits, change those habits so they are more beneficial to us. And it likes to do it quickly. The the more quicker, the more quickly. I'm a science teacher. Can we just get that out of the way right now? I am not an English teacher. So if you hear anything in these podcasts and you're like, wait, that does not make sense. Well, that is because English is not my forte. Science is. Okay, so it likes to do things as quick as possible. And that is why either strong emotion and the subconscious change work, it likes better. And it has a longer lasting impact. Our subconscious mind, number 19, is programmed to continually seek out more. Now, our brain, our subconscious loves consistency, but also novelty. It loves things that are a little bit different. Now, it likes the schedule, right? But it also seeks that little bit different thing. It seeks out that novelty and that difference. It's why we're constantly making new goals. It's why Abraham Hicks, if you listen to her, says, you're never going to get it done and you're never doing it wrong because it's never going to be finished. Because once you achieve that thing, there's going to be another thing and another thing and another thing. That's part of our life. That's part of humanness. That's part of the human journey, is that there's always something new that we're striving for, which is good because we don't want to sit here in complacency and be like, oh, I think I'll just sit here because I'm done now. I finished all of my goals. Can you imagine? I finished all of my goals. I finished second grade. That was my goal. So I'm done now. Right? No. And we've created our society around this subconscious prime directive, is that we're always seeking more. Advertisers use this as well and hack into our subconscious programming to show us the more and more and more that they think that we need. We'll talk a lot more in future episodes too about acknowledging and being aware of our subconscious and how it works, and the programming can help us be like ninja attackers against marketing habits. And lastly, our subconscious functions best as a whole integrated unit. Well, what does this mean? It means that our mind and body work better together. When everything is in alignment, our subconscious mind loves integrity. It's important that both systems are on the same page. It also loves when our conscious mind is in integrity and alignment with our subconscious mind. This is why being aware of our subconscious mind, the thoughts that we think, what we believe, and therefore also our actions that we take, when all of that is working together, that's when the angels sing, right? That's when everything is flowing smoothly. Again, I want to make sure that you know I am not preaching that, oh, when you have this, everything is hunky-dory, rainbows and butterflies, right? No, but when something happens, we know that it's data, right? That something is out of alignment. It's not the end of the world anymore, right? It's not the end of the world. Even when we consider, when we have a strong emotion, it's not the end of the world anymore. We don't get caught up in it. We don't own it and identify with it and like keep it tightly wrapped around us. We can take it and look at it. This thing, this emotion that's not serving me, that is creating a disalignment, that is creating dis-ease in my body. And I can look at it and I can think about why it's happening. And I can work with my subconscious mind to make those changes. Isn't that amazing? Like, why don't we teach this in school? This is what I think. We definitely need to integrate subconscious change work with our social emotional learning. But I will leave that for another day. Right now, I really believe that when we acknowledge these tools and we use these tools and it becomes part of our vocabulary, just like when our social emotional wellness is in tip-top shape and we are constantly working on it and working on growth, it naturally trickles down. This naturally trickles down to our students. So that's why I'm here on this journey with you and excited to share. And we're going to have more tools and episodes coming up. We have some interviews coming up that are really going to serve you with the foundations, the secret sauce, with all the things. And I'm excited to continue this journey with us. Share, like, subscribe, all the things. And yes, let your friends know. Let your friends know we're here, because when we spread the message of adult social emotional learning, I'm telling you, healed teachers can heal the world. So stay aware of what's happening.